Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ian from the Growth Forge. Today, I wanted to share with you how I use Airtable as part of my graphic design workflow. I have a graphic design team, a few different designers, some support employees, including myself, doing uploading and researching and trademark checking and all kinds of different things. And we use Airtable to manage the whole process. So I did want to share that with you today. I do have this template. I built this template. I stripped it of all of our data, and I'm sharing that with you. So if you want that template, go check out thegrowthforge.com/Airtable. All right, so this is going to be probably a little bit of a lengthy video, just because this is so cool and so powerful. And I'm not going to be able to describe up front what makes Airtable so awesome, and really have it impact you until you see this thing working. Because once you see this thing working, it's going to blow your mind. This is free, by the way. I do not pay for Airtable. And as you can see by our auto number here, we have 699 designs. So check it out. Free tool. Love it. Better than Excel. So what does make it better than Excel? Well, you could definitely, and I did want to change this real quick. So I'm going to do that really quick. We're going to take away Krisha. All right. All right. So, what makes this cool is the different columns for starters, and you can have those fields like you just saw, where you could do a little drop down. You can have check boxes. You can have bigger boxes where you could put in more information. You can have URLs. You can attach images directly to it. Okay, so that's cool. But where this really gets cool is the views. Now, if you click this little arrow here, you can see all the different views. Now, the views are each stage of your workflow. So you could see research, writing, upload, sponsored products. And then I have my a couple of my designers here. Plus, we have Redbubble, Etsy. Okay, and I'm going to show you how this all works together. You may not need all of this. You may not need all these different views or columns or whatever. But if you do, they're there. So you can expand this template or you can contract this template. But once you start using this, I promise you're going to be hooked. So like I said, the best way to demonstrate this is to just do it. So grid view, this is like all of your data just kind of there, like the whole thing. Nobody works in this. This is just there just in case. The whole process starts with the research grid. So this is where my researcher starts out. All of our designs have a SKU, and the SKU is so that we could track it inside of Google Drive. If my uploader is ready to upload, she can go to Google Drive, search for the SKU, and then upload it very, very easily. Okay, and we have here what's called an auto number. And the reason that's important is every time you add a line, it automatically adds the number on and on into eternity without fail. It just does it. Now, we used to manually add in the number. We would type in 699 or type in 700. And what was happening was I have so many people working in this grid that that like I would type in 700 and then my virtual assistant would type in 700, and so then we would skip and we would have all kinds of issues. So that solves it. All right, so we're going to do a demonstration here. We're going to pretend that we're researching 3 different designs. Every time I've ever watched a print-on-demand demonstration, the person doing it was in the pit bull niche, right? So I really just felt like it was appropriate to do the pit bull niche. So that's what we're going to be doing. All right, and then I'll show you how the views work and how this whole thing plays and works together. Okay, I promise you're going to love this. All right, so the links to the designs, I have my virtual assistants linked to Amazon or wherever it is that they found the designs. We're just going to put Amazon.com in there. This would be the actual link, okay? And so that's so that the designers can use it as a reference if they want to. But in addition to that, we're also going to add files. All right, so just straight up images, drop them in there. 1, 2, 3. The first two didn't take. The easiest way is to click out. It's kind of a little box. Expand that there, drop that there. Okay, so the files are uploading. Done. Okay. All right, so the niche is pit bulls. And you could customize any of this content. Pitbull keyword 1, Pitbull keyword 2. Okay, so we'll pretend we found 2 good keywords that we want to optimize. Okay, so this is my researcher. This is what she's doing. Okay, and search volume, we found out that there's a search volume of 30,000 on Amazon, 30,000. I'm just making numbers up, folks. I think Pitbull is probably a little more than 35,000, and then live listings is 200. Okay, this is the researcher. She's doing all this work. Okay. All right. So now she's going to check and make sure Pitbull keyword 1 isn't trademarked, and then she's going to check this off. Now that's important because checking this off moves it into another view. This little check mark enables it to go forward into the rest of the workflow process. It won't go forward until that happens. Okay, so she checks it off. And now we have 3 designs that we're going to work on in the Pitbull niche. Now I come along later and I'm going to add them to my designer. All right, so this one, we're going to do Taylor on the first one, Ron on the second one. Where'd that go? Oh, it's because she's got it filtered. So that's the filtering. That's where the filtering comes in. Ron on the second one, and we'll do Taylor on the third one. And it's so I'm just going to customize this real quick because I can. So just get rid of that. Done. All right, now there's only 2 drop downs. Okay. All right, so if there's any notes that we want to add, we can add it in here. Now, I can also say, all right, I want to send this design to Etsy and I want to send this design to Redbubble. Okay. Now, just pay attention because this all plays together. So now my researcher just carries on with her day. I came along later. I assigned it to my designers. I assigned it to some marketplaces. Okay, so what happens next? Let's continue with the Merch by Amazon thread. Next, we're going to do some writing. Okay, now I want you to see this filter here. Where writing is, writing finished is unchecked, and then we're going to add this filter where trademark checked is boom. Okay, so it cannot even get in here unless it's been trademark checked. So go back to research grid. Design 699. Let's assume she forgot to trademark check it. It's not here. Where's 699? It's gone. Okay. All right. All right, so I just wanted to, I want to come back here and we're going to, first of all, trademark check that. And I just want to show you this. Now down here, you could see this says record number. This is where we used to manually type in the record number. Now, what happens when I type in 699? I just want you to see. Okay, you see down here, it created the SKU, designer name plus auto number. Now, the reason that we ultimately did that was because the reason that we still hand type it is because sometimes we want to add an A or a B or something like that, or for some reason manually adjust that number. Okay, so now there's a SKU. And now if you go into my Google Drive and you look up designer name plus that SKU number, you will find that design. All right, so the writing grid. So now you could see we have 23 hidden fields. Now we're just looking at image, keywords, niche, title, brand, bullets. Okay, and then the last thing is writing finished. So when I click writing finished, it disappears off this board. So title, this is my awesome title, which includes. Okay, so your researcher or your writer comes along, maybe that's you, types that up. And by the way, if you want to pop this whole thing out, you hit that button. Now the whole thing pops out. Okay, and you can kind of look at it in this format. All right. Okay, so I got my writing finished. I hit that, it disappears off my grid. All right, so I'm going to just bring that back because I just want to copy this down here. Okay, and I'm just doing this to be kind of quick about this. So we got our writing finished. Awesome. So clicking that little star on writing finished moves it forward in the workflow. So next we're going to upload it. So I've got an uploader and oh right. So before we can even upload it, we have to make the design obviously. So this is cool. So now let me show you a different view type. So we're going to go down here to Ron. And you could see Ron has this as kind of like a Trello card now. Okay. So Ron is going to make this design. And when he's done, he's going to put it here, right there. Now, when I come along, I'm going to take a look at it and I'm going to say, this looks like it needs a revision. So I'm going to type in here, please revise this design here. Okay. And then I'm going to move it there. And when he's done, he moves it here. Okay. And when I'm all done with it, I put it there. All right. So now where does the approved come in? Approved is for your designers if you pay them by the design. Okay. So it goes here when the design is done. It doesn't need any more revisions. You put it here. And then when you pay them for the design, you drop it there. Now look, it takes it off their board. It's gone. The reason why is it's filtered where the designer is Ron and the design status is not approved. Okay, so he has a nice clean board to work on to keep his workflow going. Okay, now if I flip over here to Krisha, who's actually Taylor, right, I just have to change the name there. And I could stop the video and like fix these things without you looking, but I want you to see how easy it is to use this. So here's Taylor, okay, and it goes through the whole process, right? Right now, if we go look at upload, this one's ready to be uploaded. Okay. And by the way, the designs are on the designer's board and the writing grid at the same time. So if you have two different employees, they could both be working on those elements at the same time. You could see that the writing is finished. Okay. But Taylor's designs aren't here because they're not approved. So if we go back to Taylor, approved, approved. All right, let's pretend my designers will re-upload the finished design onto this card, so I'll be able to see it. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go back to our upload grid. Okay, my uploader comes along, and you have a couple different options here to move it off of this board. You can wait until it's been uploaded into regular or into premium, whatever you want to do. We also have a little box here for long sleeve. Actually, we could delete that. So right now you could see how this is green. That means it's a condition. It's a conditional. It's here because this is not checked. Okay, so what we do is when we upload it into regular, we click this one. Okay, and then we type the ASIN in. Okay. And then when it's uploaded in premium, we put the premium ASIN in here. That's the PASIN. Ha ha ha. Okay. And then you can add hoodies, you can add long sleeves, you can add whatever you want to do this. You don't have to do this step at all. You could just upload it and say sayonara. The reason that we were doing this is because we wanted to, I want to compare the designers. I want to download the sales report at the end of the month and then cross-reference it with the SKUs over here, which have the designers' names in it, to see which designers are performing the best from a sales perspective. Now, I haven't gotten into that because of some some difficulties, technical difficulties. But at any rate, once it's uploaded to premium, we click the box here and it goes away. Okay. All right. So then where's the next step? Sponsored products grid. So um, we have uploaded it, right? The ASIN is sitting here. And now I have another virtual assistant who comes in and uploads it all into AMS. Okay. And when they upload it into AMS, she just clicks the button right here, moves it off her grid. Easy workflow. Okay. Now I have a couple other things here. So there's a manager grid, and the way I use the manager grid is this is where if I personally want to drill down into something, how many designs does Krisha have done, or how many designs do we have yet for whatever reason? Like if I just want to play it and I want to mess around, I use this grid. Okay, and I do that because my virtual assistants hate it when I go in and I screw up their view, and so this is like my little playground. Okay, and then the design we marked for Redbubble lives here. Okay, so then after it's been uploaded to Redbubble, boom, goes away, and then now Etsy. When we go over here, if you remember, we checked one to go to Etsy, but it's not here. And the reason for that is we actually have an intermediary step where because Etsy is such like a cottage boutique kind of a thing, I always want us to make nice looking mock-ups. So it drops in here first. So the mock-up has to be made. And then once the mock-up is done, we click this button, it goes away. It goes to the Etsy upload grid. And then when that's done, it goes away. And now it's nice and cleaned. And so you saw earlier in the early part of this video that this was filtered. My virtual assistant actually filtered it. And what she does is she sorts by, filters. She filters where designer assignment is not Ron. And the reason she does that is just so that she has a nice clean workspace. Okay. All right. So there's a few different, few other views you could use, from gallery to calendar. One of them is form, which I think is pretty neat, and I experimented with that a little bit. And on my actual workflow grid, it also incorporates client management because I create designs for clients. And so the neat thing about that is if you go to graphicrhythmdesigns.com/order form. Okay, so you could see I can embed that form directly down here. And so if you're a client and you fill this form out, it's a direct pipeline into our workflow. Okay, and I have other views set up just for managing the client design workflow. So, but this is embedded directly into my website. Okay, so that's Airtable. I love it. It's free. It's awesome. This template you can use. I'm going to share it at thegrowthforge.com/Airtable. You can also start from scratch and just do your own thing and just kind of learn about it. Whatever. Hope this was helpful to everybody, and I'll talk to you later.